everybody, it's Colleen Pearl, the Cool Crone. Welcome to my channel and welcome to PoliTarology. So Friday night came and I guess Cleo and I are just batty old ladies and we were like, is it PoliTarology? Because we didn't plan this show. But no, we planned to be on with each other. But I just had to make that joke because we're both a couple of old ladies. So anyway, we are here to talk about whatever the hell is going on about politics. And as you all know, there is a lot. So I'm just going to turn it over to Cleo because she has some things to say, and then we'll just see where this takes us. So hi, Cleo. What do you want to talk about?
What, pardon me?
What do you want to talk about?
You know, I just had something on the tip of my tongue. Just hold on here a second. I have been getting a lot of information today, but I do want to start off with, you know, it's only been 11 days.
Right.
Since the since the orange moron has been in office. And, you know, all these things that he's doing about throwing out all the federal aid and all this, it's not going to happen. Then, whoops, oh no, never mind. Yeah, it is going to happen. And I can't remember all the things he's doing that with, where he just says one thing and then does another. Well, you know, something came up in the first day or two or three where he just said, oh, no more aid to Ukraine. And then we just didn't, it was just like one sentence. Then you never hear anything else about it. But then he immediately went into this thing about, you know, basically cutting off Medicaid and food stamps and all that stuff. And that's the way Trump does things, the diversion. He does not want you to focus on Ukraine. And as a matter of fact, it worked. Nobody really questioned it, just like, oh, okay, he's going to do that. And there was, like I said, I saw maybe one line. I didn't see any more about what was going on with Ukraine.
Yeah.
And it's really a big deal because one of Trump's main purposes for being president is A, get out of jail free card, B, stop all funding or help to Ukraine, because he's working with Putin. And, you know, he's working with Putin to get elected. He's working with Putin monetarily. And so, you know, this works out well. And I know that you said one time when we were talking, Colleen, about Putin and Trump, and you were saying that Putin actually hated Trump or something.
Well, he's mad at him right now. Because Trump didn't do what he promised to do. Go ahead.
That's an illusion. And that is the I mean, this is the Trump illusion is something that has kind of, you know, all the mega people and the Republicans that believe in Trump, they believe in the illusion. That's all they're believing in. They don't understand that that's not at all, you know, like the illusion that Biden was a terrible president, the illusion that Biden did a bunch of things that hurt the country. None of those things are true. And I know that all the people that come to your shows know that. But this thing about, you know, throwing out the thing about no aid to Ukraine, this is something that him and Putin have been working towards. So I mean, Putin helped him to get elected in the first place, just so he could do that, because Putin was so pissed off that Biden would not back off, no matter how many threats Putin made about, you know, that you know, and even Trump threw in about, you know, you're going to create World War III, blah, blah, blah. So this is working. First of all, you've got to know that everything that Trump is doing has nothing to do with helping the country. It all has to do with his own agenda and the Republicans that are backing him. He's got a lot of help. But it's his connection with Putin and the world order that Putin wants to create. Now Trump wants to create that. I mean, but right now he has done what he needed to do, cut off all aid to Ukraine, just like Putin wanted. Now, there's a bunch of other things that I came up with today. Now, I didn't come up with them, I was told. And that's, you know, how is How's this going to work out? Is he going to make it through 4 years doing this kind of stuff, lying to us and creating such chaos so that we don't ever really look at the real issues while the oligarchs go ahead and control the country and eventually, this world domination. So, and I don't see that happening. I see there's something going on with the money. The money is the biggest deal in this thing between the dictators around the world, okay? And Russia has, and I don't understand how this works, but Russia is setting themselves up to control the money. And so whoever controls the money controls the world in their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So they are, somebody has come across the money trail. And you know how, people are always saying, when you have a lot of money, you go get a Swiss account or you go get a, I don't know.
Offshore account in
an offshore account. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't, I'll never be in a position like that. Never even thought about how that works or anything. So, but that's what it's doing. And they've taken these offshore accounts and put them through, it's just like a spy movie. They've put them through so many different countries. It's like you make a deposit here and suddenly now that money goes to somewhere else. And then it goes to, so that it's very hard to figure out where did it come from in the first place.
Right.
So that is what's going on. Okay, there are people that watch this, and I'm thinking that it's people from Switzerland, of all places, because isn't it the Swiss banks that tend to take these offshore deposits and hold the money?
Well, the Swiss banks are the ones who are known for their discretion. They won't give up somebody's identity, and they will allow these very rich people to open up accounts with just an account number and no name.
So that hasn't changed, but there was something that came up with, they do have to watch where it's coming from, where it's going to, especially in these times of war.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody there has found something that they found unusual. So they decided to look into it further. I don't know if they get together with people from the United States or from other countries talking about this money. But I think that the money has to do with an exchange between Russia and America. And obviously that's not something that we were going for, but it's something that Trump might be going for. And so that kind of thing is what's going to bring a downfall to him. Oh, and it also Elon Musk is all part of that. Mm-hmm. Yes, for entertainment purposes only. So yes, there's something about this money. There's something about somebody finding something that is an irregularity, and it's just a matter of time. What was the other thing? There was not just the money. There's okay, so there's the money problem. Then there's election interference. That's coming up too. So when you put these things all together, it's going to come out. And this is where the orange moron gets accused of being a traitor, because he is. Mm-hmm. And this is where he will be taken out of power. He will be taken down from the presidency. I don't see him ever making it 4 years, no. But I don't know if he's going to make it through this year.
I wonder next week, honestly, but that's just me. Yeah.
Well, and I hate to say something like that, because then next week comes and it doesn't happen. But
well, apparently this is my role on YouTube, is to make, really bold timing statements and then be wrong. That's just my lot in life.
Yeah, but I don't think you're always wrong. I think you're wrong on the timing.
No. Yes.
I think a lot of us are wrong on the timing. So anyway, I see something really, really big here. This thing is so big. It's so worldwide, and it's so beyond my knowledge of what kind of things go on in different governments and in different countries, and this money thing. Like I said, I mean, I'm just happy to go to the bank and make a deposit and have some money in the bank. I don't know anything about offshore accounts or anything like that, other than what I've seen in the movies. So anyway, there is a big thing going on right this moment because of somebody inadvertently picked up on this. They weren't looking for it, but they were looking for something entirely different, had nothing to do with Russia or the United States, and found something there. And found something that made them question, maybe I had to look a little further, and they did. And then they found something that they're keeping secret, but they're getting a hold of, I don't know who you get a hold of. NATO? Do you get a hold of NATO? You get a hold of, you let somebody know.
Well, if it's a breaking a law going across two countries, you let the ICC know.
Okay.
Or Interpol. You start there, which is pretty high up to be starting. But I mean, I guess initially they would consult with somebody who is a lawmaker in their own country. But as soon as it involves multiple countries, that's Interpol or the ICC. I think those are the only things I know.
Well, and because of the war in Ukraine and because of what is going on with Russia, this is, this is definitely top secret, but eventually, okay, I don't know how the whole thing works, but eventually it gets back to us. And obviously it can't go to Trump. It goes to somebody else. I'm thinking, and I'm just guessing, that it goes to Biden. And they hand Biden some of this information and say, do what you want with it. And then, the election interference thing is starting to look more and more like they have a lot of information that does change everything. So let me go way out into the future.
Okay.
What I see in the history books is that the 47th president, although right now it's Trump, he will lose that distinction. He will no longer be termed the 47th president. And I think Kamala will. So that's kind of what I see happening. I mean, again, this is so precarious. It is so big. It might not go that way, but I'm looking at a history book. I'm looking at Wikipedia or Encyclopedia Britannica that nobody ever uses anymore. That it would be written in there. This will, plus it will be historical. But I kept saying, well, how does Kamala fit into this? And they say she does, at the 47th president. I'm thinking, well, we've already got a 47th president. But what happens if we find out a president is a traitor, and, has committed treason, has sold and given away secrets to an enemy, which is Russia? What happens then?
Well, the only thing in our recent memory that has happened even remotely like that happened at the time of Watergate. Not only did Nixon resign so that he wasn't impeached, but Spiro Agnew, his VP, they thought, oh, are we going to have Spiro Agnew as a VP? And unbeknownst to them, he had been investigated all along for a bunch of money laundering that he had done. And they said, oh, we're sorry, Mr. Agnew, you can't be the president because you might go to prison. Now let's talk about what you should do instead. And so he had to step down as well. So.
Well, okay, this could be the same kind of thing because I don't see Vance going anywhere except down the same rabbit hole as Trump. And like I've said before, I see a lot of people getting arrested.
I do too. I've always seen a lot of people from Congress or the Senate being arrested. I've always seen, and I'm beginning to think that, there's some people who feel that what Trump is doing now is just pretending, right? If he is, it's a very dangerous game of pretend because he's affecting millions of lives. So I have a hard time believing that they just allowed him to get inaugurated and sit in the Oval. I just have a hard time with that. But that might be what's happening. That a few readers are seeing it that way. And if that is true, if he is a pretend president, then my vision of what was going to happen is sort of partway true. You know, we have him in a place where he believes that he's the president, where he has the presidential seal on a rug in his domain. You know, but if that's really all pretend, again, it's very dangerous and I don't like it, but that is, you know, three-quarters of the way.
I gotta disagree. I don't see it as all pretend. I see him. He has been working this whole 2024 election, going back to 2016, 2020, is so well orchestrated and choreographed that this has been going on for a long, long time. And so that's why we're just looking around like, how could this possibly happen? Well, it's because he has done what he's done. I knew when he started out campaigning so early back in 2020 or 2021, I thought he's not doing this just because he wants to be president. There's a whole bunch of other things that play into this. And I think wasn't that before all the charges came up about
he started campaigning, I think, in 2022, late 2022 or mid 2022 or I'll Google it because it wasn't right away. He had the January 6th things, and then, you know, he did a few other things. Let me just.
Well, then he kept that. Okay, maybe not campaigning, but he kept up with the lie about the vote.
Oh yeah, he never stopped with that. He never stopped having rallies, even when he was in office.
Exactly. He just continued trying to do that still. He feeds off that. He loves that. He just like, look at all these people that love me, and I am just going to do such a great job. And Biden was so terrible. He just, when you keep hearing the same stuff over and over, especially if you liked him in the first place, and you know he's telling you all this stuff, it's entrenched in you now. You believe it. You think he's the savior, and he wants you to think that. And the people that are supporting him, because that was this came up on a show that I was on yesterday about the people that are so far behind Trump, and they just think, why can't they see what's going on? Well, you've also heard everybody talking about we need to learn something from this experience, and a lot of things are going to change because of what's going on with Trump. Well, the people that can't see it, they have bought into the illusion totally. I mean, they're totally into it. So when something comes up where they're like, uh-oh, he did what? He sold what to who? He got involved in what? And you've got proof of this? It's going to be a shocker for them. All the rest of it, it's not a lesson for the people that understand the truth, that understand that we live in a country based on democracy, that we know that Biden was not a terrible president. He was a great president, and he got us back on our feet after a pandemic that Trump just annihilated. He was just so horrible.
Blew right past that. Yep.
So it's not the lesson that we're going through is not for all these people in the chat. They're not for all the people that are, don't understand why in the world the Trumpsters just can't get it. The Trumpsters can't get it because they don't want to. They like him. He started off with all this stuff. I'm thinking, you've got to be kidding me that a man with 34 felony convictions could possibly be president. Whether it's legal or not is irrelevant. Why would we be so immoral to say, oh yeah, that's a good idea? He's a con man, I mean,
but they are cult members. That's the way they can.
Well, you can look at it that way as well. However, the people I'm thinking of, I actually have Republican friends, and they are really nice people. They're smart people. They're hardworking. They've done good their whole life. They've got kids, they've got grandkids. These
Mhm.
are just normal, everyday people, but they've just bought into this, and they're really edgy to let you know that you're wrong, we're right. And look, you can see it because Trump is in, and he's making all these changes finally. I'm
Yeah,
like,
so
are you a fool? Are you a fool?
they are fools, and they are, a lot of them are realizing that what he's doing is very harmful to them. A lot of them are just aghast, they're in shock. They're just like, and then they get terrified because they realize, oh shit, my prescription drugs are going up. My ACA might be dropped. I might not be able to get food stamps, or I might be kicked off welfare. I might not have Medicaid. I might not have Medicare. I mean, they're worried.
And Trump just dangles that. Trump just dangles that. Look at what's going on over here. Don't look over here, because I don't want you to pay any attention to Ukraine or
Mhm.
any of these. Don't even pay attention to Musk. Let's talk about, oh, did I take away your prescriptions? Did I take away your insulin? He said that one moment he was going to do that. And now I read, no, he didn't do that. But I suppose it's still in the works. I suppose if we get a little bit too cranky about something he doesn't want us to look at, he'll go back to that. So now we got to worry about our medicine. We got to worry about our medical care. We got, our health care. We've got to worry about all these other things, keeping a roof over our head and, having a job. That's what he wants to bring it down to the bare minimum, to where a lot of people are going to suffer. And so what are you going to do? You can't pay it any attention now about the bigger thing that's going on. The biggest thing that's going on is when he, is no longer going to help Ukraine. And you
Right.
wonder why. You wonder why in the hell that would be.
Yeah. Well, that's a big, I mean, it's almost a textbook way to conquer a people and become the authoritarian leader,
Yep.
is to deprive them of, food and shelter, deprive them of their dignity, deprive them of their ability to have a vote or a choice in any of their governmental matters, and just to make them unstable and frightened all the time. Then they're easy to control. And he's done that very well. He's had some real assholes as his helpers in doing that. And, a lot of people who are really, really on board with Project 2025. But I think, so there's two things going on for people. We can go into the, what's going on in America, and is he, he's taken away birthright citizenship, and he's got ICE deporting US citizens, and the stuff that's going on domestically. Or we can look at the big picture, globally, because I think that's the only way to really bring him down, is to address it globally. But most people, when you start talking about the global issue, just think, oh my God, are you not seeing this? They didn't count the votes. They didn't do this. They are trying to get rid of Medicaid. They go back to the domestic issues as the most important thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying those things are not important. I know they're really fucking important. They are important. But to stop him, I think we have to look at the huge picture, the huge global picture, because otherwise it's not going to happen. And I think part of that picture is the oligarchs. Part of it is Elon, who is one of the oligarchs. And, JD Vance and like people like Steve Bannon and Roger Stone, they're kind of like the Mickey Mouse Club around Mickey Mouse, right? So Trump is Mickey Mouse. Elon wants to be, or maybe Elon is Walt Disney. I don't know in this scenario, but you got, Trump really wants to play with the oligarchs. But, even Trump is not an oligarch. He's not rich enough to be an oligarch. So you got all these people who are playing around with this stuff. And from what I can see, Trump is the only non-oligarch who has enough foolish balls to really play against the other oligarchs. And Putin is an oligarch. So those are the people who are really pulling the strings. And what do you think on the world stage? What do you think people like Mark Rutte, NATO, the ICC, what do you think's going on with those people? The UN, what do you think's happening in that arena?
Oh, I think, the UN, NATO, all these other departments beyond our borders they're just watching this very closely. But when they come up with certain information, it's like, who do they take it to? You cannot take it to Trump. And normally you would take it to the president of the United States. But when the president of the United States becomes the crook, and it's obvious,
yeah,
I'm not sure who they take it to. I keep seeing Biden as at least somebody to start with, and of course Kamala would be part of that as well.
But they have to have an armed force behind them, so they need like an FBI, a CIA, the military behind them in order to.
Yeah. When it comes right down to when the big announcement is made, and it will be. It takes more. It takes a tribe. It takes a village to put all this stuff together.
As Connie B and Rose Blue are saying, the Pentagon. It takes a Pentagon, and I love that because a Pentagon is a pentacle, and I love the pentacle. So that's what I think is going to save us. It's a symbol of protection. Just saying.
Well, that's not the one I wanted. It went away. Well, hold on here.
What were you talking about?
These little things.
Yeah. Pentagon working with NATO. That sounds like a good formula. That sounds like a really good formula. So I'm going to throw some cards here.
And for anybody that wants to know the timing on this, I get that it's going to happen pretty soon, but that doesn't tell me pretty soon. I don't know if that was weeks, months. I don't know. Sometime this year, I bet, I keep getting that some kind of activity is going to be happening in March that tells us basically, it could be the big thing or maybe not. I just know that it's just so much bigger than, it's hard for me to take in the enormity of what is going on right now because it's global, it's the world. And so, how long does it take to everybody to connect the dots and get together and do something about it? It probably takes a while.
Yeah. So would Biden be the one that this all kind of started with?
Yeah, and this is perfect that this thing is zipping past me too far. Yeah. Him trying to dismantle the Department of Justice. When in the hell have we ever seen anything like that happen before? Never.
The last time he was in office, he tried to do.
Well, him. Yeah. But I'm talking about when we have normal people running the country, or semi-normal at least. I guess Nixon was a different kind of a president as well. But it's always been Trump aiming for this, and what part of us says, oh boy, I can't wait till they revamp the whole Department of Justice? No, I don't think so. And so many of these people have been in there for years and years and years. They're not, they're intelligent, really good people that believe in helping the United States of America. They're the Department of Justice. They're a big deal, and he just wants to dismantle the whole thing and bring in people that are his loyalists that maybe have no education in how to do that kind of a thing, or maybe they happen to be an attorney or something, but they will just always be answering to him. And if he puts somebody in there that says, I don't know if that's quite right what you're talking about, Mr. President, he'll say, you're fired. He's not going to put anybody in there that's going to disagree with him at all. So
Right. But see, that's the whole plan of Project 2025.
exactly.
What did they have in there? They had something like 50,000 people that they've been interviewing for the last two years. They've been interviewing and looking for people who are sympathetic to the whole philosophy of Project 2025. So they had lists and lists and lists of people that they could hit up for these various positions with no better qualifications than that they agreed with it. I mean, that's frightening. That's really frightening. So I get that, yes, they are going to be talking to Biden, but that I don't see that. I mean, Biden wants them to go to people who can really do something. And honestly, who would be going to Biden? Why does somebody have to go to Biden?
Well, who do you, if you find out that there is corruption within your own government,
Oh, I
and,
see.
and that somebody is fraternizing with the enemy, and that someone is the head of the president of the United States, who do you go to?
One of his enemies.
Well, no, you have to go. You have to go to somebody, especially on the election interference. I keep thinking definitely on that. But
Honestly, I'd go outside the country. I would go outside the country. I'd take a plane to Canada and then I'd fly to, I don't know, South America, and then I'd fly over to the Middle East, and then I'd end up in Europe. I wouldn't go directly to Europe. And then
No. I'm talking about if you have direct information that
Yeah.
says there's corruption in your country, who do you go to? You don't go to your local police force and say,
No,
"Hey,
you don't.
I know." You've got to go somewhere else. And
Right.
they know that Biden can be trusted. They have to go to somebody they can trust. Biden is somebody like that. The
Right.
CIA, maybe, I don't know. The FBI, they're putting all kinds of new weird people into the FBI. So, you know, Interpol, who knows who controls Interpol? You know, it's just craziness about how this is going to happen without having a civil war. Us against the government. I mean, it's just, the government controlled by Trump. Oh boy, it's so huge. It's just exhausting trying to figure these things out. So what do you get in your cards?
Well, I just got that they would go to Biden, but that he would want them to go to somebody who was more knowledgeable. I haven't thrown any other cards out yet.
Well, I think that Biden could be the go-between, is what I'm saying. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So you got to go to somebody you can trust. And so Biden would be the go-between. He's obviously not president anymore. And so he wouldn't be able to handle this on his own, but he sure in the hell would know who to go to. He sure in the hell would know who to trust.
Right. Right.
Did I already put this up? Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Oh God, are you kidding me? Well, let's read on that.
Wow. Yeah, so many people that they're losing their jobs right now. And a lot of these people that are losing their job, the way that Trump's doing it is actually illegal, but there's nobody there to enforce that.
Right.
So a lot, some of those people said, I'm not leaving because what you're doing is not correct. And they said, "Oh, okay, well then grab your coat, come here," and they just escort them out of the building and say, "Bye-bye." Maybe take a box of stuff and toss it out. I'm going, "Here's your stuff. See ya."
And they rip their key card out of their hands, or they disable their account on their phone to get in. That's what they got to do.
Oh, we will talk about the tariffs in just a bit. Somebody was talking about the tariffs over here in the chat section, and we've got those countries might just do something that will surprise everybody too. You want me to talk about that?
Hang on, let me just talk about this Musk thing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think Musk will start to try to do something, but I don't think he succeeds. I think his understanding of how the Treasury works and how Social Security works will prevent him from making really intelligent choices about this. About the only thing that he could do that would be really, really bad would be to just literally just wire the money somewhere else. And I don't think he's going to be able to do that. But that, that I think would be the first thing that comes into his mind. And if he did do that, there would be a record of where the money went and we would get the money back. But I think that I think he's going to be a little overwhelmed when it really comes down to trying to make a choice about what to do with this money. Not because it's so much money. He's used to dealing with so much money, but because he got his way. He got his way in a big way. And I think it's not a company. He doesn't have to produce a product to get this money. I think he's just going to act a fool. I think he's just going to do something that's really ridiculous. And I think it's going to get him arrested.
Yeah, for him to be even a part of this, he's not an elected official. He's not anybody. He's Trump's buddy, Trump's little boy that paid for Trump to get into office, and also has connections to Russia. Musk has great connections to Russia, as does some of the other countries that we don't want him. We don't want them giving the secrets away. It's just craziness to even that we're even talking about Musk.
You know what? It's interesting. It just came to my mind that allowing him to have that access might be a setup. And I pulled cards. I got 2 of the 3 same that I had before. 2 out of 3 came back. And the middle card, so I got the Temperance and the Fool again. So I think that they're setting him up, because I think that Trump really believes that he is the most powerful. Even though he doesn't have as much money as the oligarchs, he truly, truly believes in his own power when he, on a good day. He just believes that nobody is as smart as him and nobody understands these things as well as him. He believes his bullshit. And I think that he thinks that Musk is an irritating, annoying child. And he's done playing with him. He loved the money. He loved having the money. But Trump's making a lot of money since he's come into office. He's making a lot of money.
Especially in lawsuits.
Well, and not paying off his lawsuits. But he's got these oligarchs just, willing to say, "Oh, Trump, look, I got you a gift because it's Thursday." And it's like $3 billion, like they're just kissing his ass, these other oligarchs. And Musk thinks, I already paid for my ticket to the party, so I get to stay. And I don't think Trump wants this. He really doesn't. I don't think Susie Wiles cut Musk off from Trump's access just because she wanted to be a ball buster. I mean, no. Yes, she did want to bust his balls because she doesn't like him, but nobody likes him. But I think Trump told her, look, I don't want that moron in my face every day at the Oval. I don't want him there. So she took steps. But the thing about him having an office in a different building, that was announced weeks before the inauguration. That wasn't new. It's just that Musk just sort of like grabbed it.
Yeah, they did. No, originally he said he was going to have a room in the White House.
Well, yeah. And so he just grabbed an empty office and started setting up a desk. And that's when, Susie Wiles goes to Trump and says, "Do you want that?" And he's like, "God, no, get that guy out of here." She's like, "Oh, thank God." So she started pulling rank. But I think that,
and you know what Musk said about his new quarters over in a different building, which is very close to the White House. He said he's going to turn it into his bedroom. So he's got a bedroom there.
The guy
It's just so stupid, but it's not. I mean, we're talking about all these things that we're saying are stupid. It's really very, very dangerous about what's going on right now.
Very dangerous. He wants to be there after hours when everybody's gone so he can go and wreak havoc. I mean, the guy is dangerous, but I think he's being set up. I think they're going to catch him red-handed doing something, and that'll be Trump's excuse to say, oh, oops, you're getting arrested. Bye, Elon. Enjoy prison. Not arrested necessarily in the United States, but probably arrested by the ICC. Because he is in the thick of it for all of the election interference all around the world. So.
Wow. I just saw this.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh gosh. Yeah, Linda G said there might be another plane crash. Oh geez. Oh, just take a moment for all those people.
Yes.
Oh, that's awful. That is awful.
A lot of people over here talking about it.
Yeah, I bet. That's pretty close. Oh, that's awful. All right. Okay. So what was the next thing you were going to read on?
I was going to talk about the tariffs. Now, somebody wrote, can you read on the Mexican female president? She is standing up to Trump. And if you want to do that, that'd be great. One thing about that again, that came from another show that I had yesterday, the Golden Girls, is we were talking about the tariffs in Canada and Mexico, which is coming up tomorrow. It's going into effect tomorrow. And Canada, what I loved is that they said, okay, you want to do tariffs, that's fine. We're going to turn off the electricity to the 5 or 6 or 7 states up in the northeast there that are getting electricity from Canada.
Yep.
And I was like, Yahoo, this is exactly what we need to have happen. However, the next day, some other high up from Canada said something about just they're going to have tariffs on their exports to the United States too. So it'll just be a thing back and forth. If those Canadians could see their way clear to flip the switch on that electricity, that would be something that really makes an impact on the stupid things that Trump is doing with tariffs by alienating our allies and neighbors. Who in the world ever looked at Canada as either threatening or something, doing things that we didn't like? I mean, Canada is so
nice.
Nice, exactly. They're just nice.
They're so nice.
And this thing with the electricity, we have been getting electricity from Canada for over 115, 116 years. And we've never, I didn't even know that I don't live in that area, so I wouldn't know about it. But, nobody was having a problem with that, was accepting this electricity from them. And then when that guy said, well, we'll just turn it off.
Yeah.
Now you're getting a bunch of people. Those states have a lot of wealthy people in them,
Mm-hmm.
It's old money in these states. Maybe I should look up what states those were.
It's all back here. It's all along the northern border and New York. Not New Jersey.
New York, I think. Was it New Hampshire?
Yeah, all the ones up along the east, the border.
Yeah, and so they, they would not like that. I don't want anybody in the United States to have to suffer because they don't have electricity, but I
Mm.
want the Canadians to do this to make a show of, we're not going for this 25% tariff. It's just, plus it not only hurts them, it hurts us. We're the ones that are going to pay for it. Same with Mexico. We get and Canada does depend on us for a lot of, money, a lot of money. So, yeah,
Well,
anyway,
this thing by CBS News says that from Canada, we import oil, lumber, wood, and cement. So there goes all your
steel.
and steel. There goes all your infrastructure projects. They're just coming to a halt. So there
Yeah.
goes all the jobs with that. And there goes, anybody who's doing anything with, rebuilding or anything like that. And 20% of the agricultural products we bring into the U.S. come from Mexico. So, and
Yeah, and I love their asparagus, but I love the Canadians' hothouse tomatoes.
yeah,
But
it's going to be a nightmare. But Trump is going to probably do the same thing he did with everything else. He says that he's doing it. Did he actually put it into place? Who knows? If it actually starts tomorrow, then they have a big brouhaha over it. By Sunday morning, he's probably said, "Oh no, I didn't mean that. Yeah, pull back on that." And then it's kind of all over because Trump is a wuss. I mean, anytime somebody stands up to him with anything, he just caves. He's not smart with stuff like that. He's really stupid.
Well, and then as far as Mexico, I love that Mexican president, that woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that as soon as he came up with the goofy thing about the Gulf of Mexico and now changing it to the Gulf of America, which Google is just falling over themselves to make new maps that says Gulf of America.
Mm-hmm.
It's just ridiculous. She was standing in front of a map that Mexico itself, it just looked like about a third of the country of the United States of America was
Yep.
actually Mexico.
Yep.
So, and she's looking around thinking, well, now, wait a minute. You want to make that the Gulf of America? But looky here. Look how it used to be. Um, I don't know how much she will fight with it, depending on how vicious Trump gets about this whole thing. He wants to put get this, 200% tariff on the cars that are made in Mexico that we buy in the United States. That's just craziness. If he goes through with that, we are going to have some trouble because, there was a reason why those companies, some of them were from America in the first place, moved down to Mexico. It helps Mexico. It helps with their money and stuff. There's no need to do that kind of a thing, but that's what Trump wants to do. The thing with Canada just blows my mind that he just goes that far. And like I said, I wish that somebody would take that kind of action that really affects us so that we could see, okay, this is how people feel about it. But I don't know. Canada is so nice. They may just go ahead and just put tariffs on their exports, and so it'll be
here's what they're going to do. Here's what they're going to do. It says the tariffs would also invite retaliation. This is from what is this? Reuters? No, PBS. Tariffs would also invite retaliation. Doug Ford, the Premier of Ontario, has already vowed to counterpunch by pulling American alcohol off store shelves in the Canadian province. No idle threat. Canada is the world's #2 market for America's distilled spirits. So they're just going to say, you guys, you Canadians within Canada, you can't drink American alcohol. Done. Okay. There goes our markets. Just the bottom falls out of our alcohol markets. And that's a big market. What else? Let's see. Trump's tariffs threatened to blow up the trade agreement he himself negotiated with America's neighbors in his first term. This is what drives me nuts. It's like he's going against his own things. Oh, God. And Let's see. What else we're gonna get to? Oh God, he's so, see. I don't think he's gonna hold his end up. I don't, here's another. When I googled this, here's the top story. Trump in Reuters says nothing Canada, Mexico, or China can do can delay the February 1st tariffs. Really, the more he says stuff like that, the more I think, are you sure, Donnie? Are you sure? Because most of the things when you say that don't happen. So
Exactly.
not probably not happening. So let me see what my pendulum has to say about this. I give it a week. At most, yes, at most, I give it a week. For a lot of them, I think it'll be like a little couple of days or something. Because Trump is a wuss. He's going to back down as soon as they are pushing back on something that he wants. He's just going to drop it.
Well, because his whole reasoning for wanting the tariffs makes no sense.
Right. Well, just like
he's worried about the criminals, the immigrants that are coming across the border from Canada that are causing so much, he's blaming them for the fentanyl deaths and overdoses in America.
Yeah.
Just all of this crap. For one thing, Mexico has done a lot when they were working with Biden, and we have as far as immigrants coming across the Mexican border, it had been totally reduced, and Mexico was trying to get the criminals, because that was the big thing that Trump came up with back in 2016, and they're trying to stop that, and they did. And so things were actually moving very smoothly, especially in 2024, because of what Biden did and because of his relationship with the president of Mexico. I don't even know if she was president then, but they tried to work out things where they got along, and they did that just fine. Yeah. Canada, I don't know where Canada came in. There's no way in hell you're not getting your fentanyl from Canada. You're getting your fentanyl off an airplane. Wherever the hell it came from, China or
South America, who knows? But yeah, you're right. The fentanyl is not coming across the border.
And putting tariffs on the country does not stop any of what Trump thinks he's going to be able to do. It does not stop the migrants. What it does do is it hurts us. It hurts our money. We just we won't have the money to. People will stop buying all these things because the price will be crazy.
They won't have it. With all the ICE deportations, nobody's picking the crops in the United States. So there is nothing. I mean, if you want to take a shit in 3 months, good luck, because there's not going to be any vegetables or fruit to eat. There's just not. It's going to be bad. And if you want to buy it from Canada or from Mexico, no, it's going to, can you imagine an avocado is going to cost about 10, 12 bucks. A head of lettuce, even the crappy lettuce, is going to cost about 10 bucks. Everything's going to be over 10 bucks, really, for a single piece of that item. It's going to be terrible. I tell you, what's going to make money is people in frozen foods are going to make money, and people in, like X-Lax and those people for, stuff for constipation, they're going to make money. And supplements will go up, and go up as far as popularity. People will buy more of them, but it's going to be kind of a nightmare. I feel bad. Like I used to be vegan, and now I'm vegetarian, but I still eat a lot of vegetables. All of my fellow vegetarians, this is going to be tough. This is really going to be tough. I should probably go buy a lot of dried beans, because that's probably all I'll be able to eat.
So SJ, you asked, can we still ask questions?
Sure.
I'm trying to kind of keep up with what you guys are doing over in the chat section. I'm new at trying to be an admin on these things, so I haven't gotten everybody. Plus, we're getting into some really interesting topics here. So, but yes, if you want to ask questions, go ahead, please. We are probably, we're 55 minutes into this. We'll probably stay on here for another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just want to say, everybody, in front of everybody, thank you, Cleo, very much, because as you all know, I'm really terrible about watching the chat. I am notorious when it comes to just completely ignoring the chat and then just acting like, what, is somebody going to put a question up? So I really
totally understand that, because when you're getting information from your guides or you're getting information from your cards and you're trying to answer something and you're also trying to read what everybody is saying, and what they're saying is really interesting. Like some of the stuff that you've been talking about, I kind of missed it a little bit because I'm so busy over here. So
Yeah.
it's kind of tough to juggle the two, but we might screw it up a little bit, but we're doing the best we can.
Okay, we try to be a little entertaining too. So, gosh, did we get to anything?
Now, wait a minute. Somebody said tariffs are postponed to March 1st. No, I didn't hear that yet. I think it's February 1st, which is tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I mean, when I Googled about tariffs, the thing that came up was headlines from all the major news outlets, CNBC, CBS, BBC, USA Today, and they're all saying that they're starting tomorrow. Yeah. So at least one of those outlets would have gotten it right. I know they're all pretty moronic these days, but at least they would have gotten that part right. Yeah, and these are all recent, 9 hours ago, 4 hours ago, 27 minutes ago. Yeah, 27 minutes ago, Trump said, nothing Canada, Mexico, or China can delay the tariffs on February 1st. So, yeah, it's happening. Oh, my gosh.
And you're right, Roxy, about they want chaos. And that's what Trump's always wanted, because he knows that is how he does things. This is how he's always done things. Right. It's like, look over here, but oh, surprise, while you're looking here, there's something going on way over here.
I meant the Supreme Court being declared a king. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. That's what he's trying to do.
I'm telling you, he is so well. I know, we all think he's stupid because he does crazy things, but there is a method to his madness, and so far it has worked, and he's got a lot of people that believe in him. So we have a huge problem. But I do think that when the evidence is displayed for all to see, when the evidence comes out of what we're really dealing with, and that this person that is currently sitting in the president's seat is an illegitimate president. He stole the election. He tried to do it in 2016. Well, he did succeed in 2016, and he did the same thing in 2020. It didn't work. So then he said that we screwed up, that we did something wrong. That's perfect for him to do it that way, point the finger at, in the other direction to get everybody all riled up. It has worked. But what he has done, and it goes way beyond what I'm even talking about. I mean, he has really done some things that are going to be a shock to the system, and they're going to have evidence. They're going to be able to show us this is what happened. And, obviously this guy cannot stay in office. And that's what I do see happening. And I wish I knew what it was, but it's like beyond my comprehension. So I mean, actually, all the stuff I've been talking about is beyond comprehension. This connection with Russia, and this connection with, the whole of trying to control the world. He's not just happy with the country and the games that he plays. I'm going to take away your food stamps. Oh, shit, don't do that. Well, no, go ahead. Let's all argue about that. And all these governors are getting together and going to court and stuff. He loves that. That's just what he was waiting for to happen. Distraction, distraction, distraction. Here's what I'm really doing, but go ahead, worry about that. Oh, now I tell you what, never mind. Go ahead. You got your funds back. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal.
And in the meantime, the people who had been trying to stop him are so worked up and anxious and upset that they just can't, they can't resolve immediately. They can't allow that to go. So they just are in a constant state of anxiety, you know.
Which is exactly what Roxy is talking about here. Is remember, all they want is chaos, and it's for us to be afraid. And you know damn well when you heard, you know, a lot, millions of people here, you're not going to get any food benefits. You're not going to get any health benefits. That causes a lot of fear and anxiety. So resist it every step of the way. Just walk away from that fear, because the fear is not going to change it one way or the other, but it's going to change you. It's going to bring your energy down. And that's what you don't want. You just don't want that. We are going to get through this. It will change, but we got to suffer along with the rest of the people until it does get changed. And those are the people, I mean, like I said, you guys know what the hell's going on. You know what is right and wrong. And you know what, you know that you love your country, you know. The other people, they think of the same way, except that they're just totally entrenched and believe him. And so it can't come through. It has to come through the way I'm suggesting. Is that it's just going to be so in your face and such a shocker that even the Trumpsters are going to have to go, oh, maybe we might have made a little mistake here.
And a lot of them are saying that. A lot of MAGAs are realizing that they shouldn't have voted for him, that the things that he's doing are really bad for them personally, as well as bad for the country. And that's causing them to question the other things that they've been taught to agree with, like birthright citizenship is bad. Is it bad, folks? Come on, MAGAs, think about it. You probably know at least 6 people for whom that was a really good thing. You probably
it's always been. It is the cornerstone of our democracy.
Right. Even people who live in states without a lot of diversity still know people whose parents probably were not citizens, and that they, as a person, were born in this country, and boom, they're citizens. You know, I mean, that we all know people like that. We all know that, and it is a good thing. But
all of us stem from immigrant. Well, not all of us. There is a few people that just
indigenous people, yeah,
especially, you know. But most people are, you know, their history is from immigrants. Their parents or grandparents or
including Trump, and 2 of his 3 wives are actual immigrants. So give me a friggin' break. I mean, technically, Barron is an anchor baby, you know, because Melania is not from this country. So, I mean, he's talking out of both sides of his mouth. But back to the MAGAs, you know, they have to see this clearly. They have to see clearly that he has betrayed them. He lied to them. That's what they really have to understand, that he lied to them. Well, and when they start to understand that, then they turn.
As Summer Virgo says, I'm not scared, I'm angry.
Good.
Don't let your anger overcome you, because
right.
It will affect your thinking, and you know, and sometimes anger can spiral out of control, and it will make you sick, and it will affect your life. Do not let this son of a bitch upset what you do in your life and who you are and what you know is right. Just don't, you know, you angry? Yeah, we are. And I mean, my anger totally interferes. If I get too pissed off, it totally interferes with hearing what I need to hear from spirit, because anger has a lot of powerful energy in it, but it's a negative energy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, you know, I understand, I understand your anger, but don't let that anger interfere in what you do in your own life, and don't let it take control of you.
Yeah, spend some time protecting yourself with white light, putting yourself in the middle of a bubble of white light, sending white light throughout your body, relaxing, doing a quick meditation to just ground yourself and feel that white light around you, and then send that white light and love out to other people, even people you don't get along with, even people that you think are wrong or MAGAs or whatever. It will make you feel better. It will raise your vibration. It will make you healthier. It'll have you sleeping better at night. But hanging on to anger and fear, no bueno. You don't want to do that.
So let's see here. Where Dog Mom, I like that, Dog Mom. I'm 73, rely on my retirement. Will we get it? We will.
Yeah.
If, hopefully if things work out the way I see them working out, that, we get Trump out of there, then our Social Security will be more secured. Right now, he is, they say under Trump's reign, that the Social Security is going to last about 6 years and then it starts to go down. This threat on Social Security has existed for
50 years.
Well, at least decades, and we do have to do something to bolster that money. I don't know what they're doing with it, but I think that there's a lot of people that have some good ideas on how to deal with this. Trump's idea is, hey, don't pay taxes on it. We're not going to tax it. Well, we're not taxed at a certain amount anyway. Yeah, I think it's what, 25,000 for a single person. Nothing after 25,000 will be taxed, and it's 34 or 35 or 36, 30 some thousand for married couples. So there is a big chunk there that's not taxed. But the thing about taxing the money after that, that also goes into Social Security. I mean, it's not really a good plan. I know everybody thinks, well, gee, if we don't get taxes, that we get more money in the end. Well, yeah, but that is a temporary fix. It's not what you want. You don't want a president to say, hey, I'm not going to touch it. Leave it just the way it is. That is when it will go insolvent. And that's when our 6 years will be up. 6 years can just fly by. Yeah, you just don't want that to happen. You want to keep Social Security solvent. And Trump has no desire, could care less. But he knows when he says these things, the Trumpsters are like, well, yeah, see, he's trying to protect our Social Security. He's trying to give us more money back. And, no, he's not. No, he's not. He's like, I don't even want to mess with it. Just let it go insolvent and then look around and go, well, that's what happened. We told you we just didn't have enough money. I mean, it's craziness. It's total craziness. Because yes, Social Security, I believe, will stay intact one way or the other. Even if this nitwit was there for 4 years and did his all to try to ruin it, I think by that time, people will come to their senses and realize that this is not what we want. And it's not America. It's just not the way we do things. So, will we obviously get it? Yeah, I think you will. On the other hand, we're gonna probably have to fight for it, depending on how things go. If we get rid of this idiot within this year, a whole lot of things are going to be saved. A whole lot of things are going to change, and we'll just be living in a much better place.
So I see a couple of questions in here about the ICC and will the orange toddler get charged for selling secrets and selling their secrets? And the next one says, WWJS, what would Jack Smith say? And I got to tell you, I'm real happy that Jack went back to the ICC because I think Jack is going to have the pleasure of prosecuting Trump in the ICC. And he happens to now be an expert, a subject matter expert on the man. So I think that will be a day of, I won't say sweet revenge. I don't think Jack would think of it as revenge, but it will be very sweet to see that happen. And I think that's going to happen. I don't know if Trumpy will still be in physical form when this happens, but he'll still be charged. He'll still be tried. Because not only for the election interference and the good that will do for the rest of the world, but because for our history and for our benefit, we need to declare him an illegitimate president.
I forgot about this. I'm glad that Angela brought it up. Says the orange moron wants his face to be on Mount Rushmore. Now I know he's brought that up before, and now they're really pushing for it. They're pushing that, and they're pushing this thing about giving him a third term. They want to change the rules so that he can go ahead and have a third term. I'm thinking he's not going to make it through the second term, so don't worry about a third one.
Yeah, what is he thinking? He's not going to be alive for that long. So,
But his face on Mount Rushmore, I don't know. I think they should line up the presidents and then just put a donkey face or a horse face or something.
or just a big orange.
Big orange. No, I don't think that's going to happen. He's the first and only president I've ever heard of that wanted such a thing. He's so busy just thinking about himself, and he really does want that too. He wants us a big old face of him up there on the mountain.
Well, you see in some of his posts, he's posing in front of a flag that has himself on the flag behind him.
Yeah.
Like, how much self-aggrandizement do you need, toddler? Do you really need to be, stroked every minute of the day? Do you really not believe in yourself at all, that you need all these outside proofs of how great you are? He's such a fucking child. God. It's just, give me one day with this guy. One day. And a clothespin. So, because, I don't want that, but,
And here's another thing from Maria. She says, what are the Democratic leaders doing? They're, boy, I don't know. I got really irritated about this the other day, and I was just like, yeah, what the hell are they doing? What are they thinking? What, I think they're kind of just like working, they have to be really careful right now about working within the system, because they do want to stay in office and they do want to have, something to say. What's his name? The guy that just became a senator in California? Schiff. Now that guy, I'm watching him and I'm thinking he's got something more going on. He's not showing all his cards right now.
Yep.
Because I'm pretty sure a lot of the Democrats are seeing. First of all, they're noticing that their party is looking pretty pathetic, and that they really didn't look like they've done anything. Hopefully, they will get back on board, but maybe there is a reason why they're not being more vocal about some of the more ridiculous things that are coming up. And a lot of it, right now they're just so entrenched with what Trump putting all these new members in, like like RFK. Oh my goodness, that guy is just a complete absurd nutcase. Talk about, I know that he's got a little problem with his voice, which it's hard to listen to him. And I know other people that have this same condition. It's no day at the beach. But also this thing about the worm and the brain, and he's got these tics, and he's like the biggest weirdo ever, and to be putting that kind of a person into heading up the Department of Health or whatever it is he's going to be.
And Trump, who is the master of central casting, how can he think that is a good representative? How can he think that? I tell you what I think. I think that Cheetolini knows that RFK is not a good representative for him. I think he knows that he's getting chewed up and spit out by Congress. And I think he's just waiting for them to shoot him down. Because I think, RFK went to Kamala, tried to offer himself to her. She wouldn't even talk to him. So he went to Cheetolini and said, okay, if you give me a cabinet position, I'll give you all of my people, all my votes and everything. And Cheetolini, being just a total transactional bastard, just said, oh yeah, come on board. I'll put you in the cabinet. What? And then he used him. How could he shock? How could he shock and mortify the American people the most to put that guy in the Department of Health? So he used him. That worked in Trump's favor. He thought that was great, and now he's just waiting for the guy to implode because he doesn't have any loyalty to him. What does he care? He doesn't care.
But I mean, and that's just one of the crazy picks. The other guy that they just now put in, the head of the military stuff.
Oh, Heggs, whatever his name is.
I mean, if that guy got through, what is he?
A Fox News host, a Fox Weekend.
Well, he's a sexual predator or something, isn't
he? Yeah, he is.
And a domestic violence kind of person.
Alcoholic too.
That's right, alcoholic. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's a great guy. And he's like, yeah, but if you put me in, I won't drink. Well, good for you, you idiot. What in the hell?
He's not, I don't think, how can he last? How can he last?
Kennedy fits in perfect with Trump, though. He just says crazy, bizarre things like polio vaccine, and why kids are having, what is that disorder? That he thinks the vaccine are causing,
autism?
Autism, yeah. He thinks that it's causing autism.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And, we've heard that kind of crap for years, and it just isn't, they've looked into it, didn't pan out. Nobody can support that. But anyway, the things that Kennedy says, plus even his own family is saying this guy is a predator. You just don't put him in there. His family is trying to warn the country and the government, don't do it. This is not the Kennedy that you remember. Kennedy used to be, if your name was Kennedy, you were revered in this country. Not this Kennedy. This Kennedy he's in bad shape. He does crazy things.
When he's not doing heroin, he does crazy things.
And doing heroin really sharpened his mind. Now they're right there. Why don't we just all go on heroin and get a sharper mind?
Because it's too expensive and they're cutting all of our Social Security checks. That's why we don't go on heroin. We're too busy trying to figure out where the fruits and vegetables are coming from.
What a bizarre thing to say.
The whole situation is bizarre. That's why I don't know. I have a hard time taking any of this. I have a hard time taking this all seriously. I want to believe that it is just pretend. I want to believe that we are just in the middle.
That's what I've been saying. I feel like I've been living in an alternate universe, especially since he was elected. I'm like, whoa, what happened? And
11 days of Trump happened.
11 days of this, but it didn't occur to me right off yes, it did, that the election was rigged. Mm-hmm. I knew it when he came out and said, if the election is rigged, if I don't win, the election is rigged. And if I lose, whatever the hell he said about rigging the election, I'm thinking, no, you rigged the election. Of course you did. You did it not just now, but in 2020 and 2016. I mean, it's totally rigged by him and his little, the people that support him that are just as in much trouble in the end as he is.
Yeah, they all are. They all are.
When some of this stuff comes out and these other people when they're saying, you're going to have to face a prison sentence, they're going to start telling the truth. They're going to start opening up about this is what happened and this is what he told us and this is how it worked out. And then the whole, everything just crumbles. This whole the Trump kingdom will tumble. It just
Yeah, I hope you're right. I think because it's so out there about all the ways that people have figured out the way Starlink helped them cheat, I really think Musk will be the first person to go down in this little domino game. And soon after will be, drumroll please, Cheetolini. Okay, so I really think, Musk is the beginning.
is this true?
Where's the
Another one? Crash in Alaska, crash in DC, crash in Village. Stay tuned.
Putin putting his nuts in a vice grip?
I love
Yeah, that crash in DC, that Black Hawk helicopter and stuff, I mean, it's not a big leap to think that could be sabotage, because I mean they were within eyesight of each other. How could you not see that you were going to crash? I mean, there was a video that showed the helicopter pilot looking at a plane beyond the one that he ultimately hit, and I think he was supposed to be following it or something, but yeah, exactly. Aviation crashes are no accident. Yeah, exactly. They get rid of, apparently they don't have enough people in the towers on staff. They've cut back on their staffing, and that's due to Trump and Elon. I don't know why Elon wanted it, but Elon was a part of that. And, just stupid, stupid, stupid. I mean, that is really ironic too, because Reagan already learned that lesson, right? Reagan tried to do that, and he found out, that can't do that. That's the last time we had big problems with air traffic control, is when Reagan did that.
Well, and I guess, a lot of the thing in Washington, D.C. with the planes going into the Potomac River and stuff, that they had been operating with less traffic controllers. And the traffic controller guy he was doing two things. He was doing something with the helicopters, and he was doing something with the airplanes, and he may have made a mistake. On the other hand, I'm not so sure that the helicopter didn't have mechanical problems, because if you see that video with the helicopter coming right into the airplane, it's like they didn't have any steering. They couldn't go up, down, or any other way than where they were going. So I'm wondering if they won't find some mechanical problems in that also. These latest ones, all these planes crashing, wow, I don't know what that's all about.
Could there be some sort of hacking involved? I mean, maybe they just want to make, I don't know.
Well, this person says Russia has been doing crashes around Eastern Europe.
Yeah, they're sick. They're really sick people. It's really, really bad. Well, Cleo, I'm fading. I'm running out of synapses to fire here.
Oh, brother. And you're actually younger than me. I don't know. You got to keep up.
I know.
Yeah, we've been on here quite a while, an hour and 23 minutes. And so I know that we had thank you for everybody that's showing up. We had almost at one point 550 people. Thank you for showing up for this, and for bringing all your questions and all your insights and all your knowledge about what's going on here. And if we can just all stick together and pray for peace and let go of our anger a little bit and just roll with the punches right now, because we just don't have a choice. Yeah, this is the way it is right now. This is going to change. And yes, the sooner the better. I just don't know when it's going to change, but it is going to change. And so I just have hope that way. And just everybody be safe, and send out a little love to each other. That'll really make you feel better.
Yeah, ditto. All of that, really ditto. Yeah, so February is going to be a real interesting month. March is going to be a hell of a month. So, stay tuned, fasten your seatbelts, because it's just getting started.
All
All
right.
right, everybody. I think we do have a show, a PoliTarology. Is it Crone Oracle or PoliTarology next Friday? It is. No, it's PoliTarology next Friday the 7th. And then on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, is a Cool Crone Oracle. So on February 7th, on Friday, we have Mel Dore joining us for PoliTarology. So that'll be a real treat.
Yes.
And then on the 14th, for the Cool Crone Oracle, we have Linda G joining us for persist.
Wow.
Yeah, so fun. So thank you, everybody in the chat. And again, I know I'm really terrible at it, but that's why I have other people do it. So you can blame them. and really appreciate all of your input. And I guess I'll be back next week to do this crazy thing. And take care. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.